2021 Purchasing Committee called into order. I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our June 15th meeting. Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I found those minutes to be in order. My motion is to approve the minutes from June
We have
15th.
a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
They are in order, and we have a second. Any discussion or corrections? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. We have a couple items, all three items today, members, is we took under advisement from the June 15th meeting. Your first up is item number 1, medical supplies from Paul's. Michael, if you would please come on up. And I'm sure you've had time before you. I think he has distributed all the drugs. You see why we have to take it under advisement, Commissioner Key. And
Most definitely.
there's a lot to decide, so
Yes.
Michael, go ahead and tell us your decision.
All
Or
the
recommendation, I'm sorry.
all of the items listed in green are the ones that I would recommend approval to those specific companies. They're all the lowest price. There are a couple of items in here that you'll see that both of them have like a contract price the manufacturer requires. So I awarded to both, so just whoever I'm ordering from at that time, I can place that on there. There were several items that some of them no bid, so obviously I went to the other one by default. There is one notation on the second page about Middle Ways Dan. You'll see where it says heartworm test.
I was going to ask you about that. What's the
100 pack
price?
versus 25 pack. So the 270.30 was for a 100 pack of the test. The 78.86 is for a 25 pack. It's cheaper to order the 100 pack, and we go through those
Gotcha.
quite often. So that's why I awarded that to them versus the others. So that looks a little bit odd, but that's the reason for the notation.
So under no bid, they didn't bid on it,
They didn't
right?
bid that
Okay.
specific product,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. I did go back and look at our bids from last year, and some items are higher, some items are lower, some items are the exact same, so it's just kind of a wash in a sense. But we only order, we put that approximate quantity over here, but we only order supplies as needed. We're not locked into purchasing those quantities. by
So you don't have a storeroom per se that you keep a lot of these supplies in? or-
In the vet area, we do keep some of those items, we stockpile some of those items for use.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna go place an order July 1 for
For everything.
everything that's on here. We just order as needed.
What's their turnaround usually on an order?
Most of them can get it to me the very next day.
Okay, so there's not really an issue of going one company versus the other?
No, sir.
And it's very convenient to do either one?
We've used both of these. We've actually had, in the past, a couple more that bid. For some reason, they didn't bid this time, but both Covetrus and Midwest we've been pleased with.
Okay, all right. Very
On
good.
the first page, the tubes, there's a big price difference. What was,
Don't know what that price difference is. I reached out and asked Covetrus on that, and if you'll flip over on page, the top of page 3, where it shows all those sutures, you'll see a big price difference there. We want our sutures to be on a cassette, so they pull off how much they need and cut it off and use that. Whereas that's what we asked to be bid. Covetrus bid individual packs, so there's a lot of waste there. I asked them to give me prices for the cassettes that we originally asked for. Even called the gentleman back again yesterday, and he hasn't provided. So I can't answer that question on why theirs were different.
So that's like kind of determining how much floss you need in the morning.
You only pull out as much as you want. The
Don't waste it.
others come in,
Yeah.
they come in little individual packs. You've probably seen them at the doctor's office before. They pull it out, whatever's left, it's already threaded on the needle. It costs
Okay,
more.
It costs more. Yeah.
Ours, we pull out however much they need, they cut it off, they thread their own needle,
And
and it
they have
saves
an
money.
idea of what it's going to take to
Yes, sir.
do
Yes, sir.
half an inch or 3 inch.
Yeah. So there's a lot of waste the other way. The cassette's a lot cheaper when it comes to that, but
There's quite a few variations though, that I was surprised with that.
there is. On those tubes that you're asking about though, Midwest at the $1.25, all of those were the exact same price they were last year. So I kind of expected with COVID and some of the stuff that we've had to really see the prices go up, but they didn't do what I
so
expected.
you're familiar with both of these companies?
Yes, sir.
And do business with both right now.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'll move that we take the director's recommendation.
Have a
Second.
motion, have a second. Take the director's recommendation. Any further discussion?
Commissioner Cook? Commissioner Gammon?
Yes.
Commissioner Gooch?
Yes.
Commissioner McAdoo? Commissioner Key?
Yes.
Commissioner Buchanan?
Yes.
Chairman Ketchum?
Motion passes.
Thank you all.
I'm trying to get myself out and get out there and get the pet of the week.
The pet of the week
The
from
pit
Mur-
bull in the
from
Border Collie.
Murfreesboro. Is it from the Rutherford County Breaking News?
No, it's Paul's.
Oh, probably what Megan puts out on our website then.
It was on Facebook.
What you don't have any now?
Mine died.
Oh.
I know.
Okay.
I couldn't do it.
No.
You need to be right. That hurt me.
I know.
Just all but next week.
All right, that bid's coming your way for your signature, and
It's
so
signed bad.
You
now
got
we
me from
will.
the Where is that? Where's it around?
Members will move to item number 2, vocational training center roof maintenance and facility maintenance. Should be able to take, we can take them one at a time, but come on up, Rob, and give us your recommendation.
Which one you want to do first?
We've got vocational training center roof first. Excuse me.
Pull it out, sorry.
Extra clean.
She's got it.
Okay.
No, this is his.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I usually bring extra.
No, I keep it at the bottom of my purse. I don't want to feel like
You
digging.
want to dig down in there?
No, I did.
Just a cigarette.
Keep that mousetrap on top.
But if it's like my mom's purse, it bought some gum, some mints down there. Half stick it in tin.
Thank you.
Rob? Tell us what you got.
So
What's your
vocational
recommendation?
was the first one.
This is one, members, that's located on Haley Road.
Yes.
Currently, we have only 2 people in that building. I believe that is our building. We have been leasing that to state workforce development. Is that proper department, Rob? Who's in that?
Yes.
building? Okay. And they have plans to move out over to Old Fort, down from Red Lobster, where Human Services,
Yeah.
I think, is located down there, probation.
Think so.
State probation, that's where they're planning on moving. That used to be a full service. I remember serving on the board of there and Journeys, and we combined the 2 boards together years ago, but they have their people out in the field anymore, and so people don't come to that facility. So Ben and his department, our maintenance department, of course, is over by the MAC, right behind, it's the old school board building. But they've been in since we're vacated and moved over to the south part. And the roof hasn't probably been touched. I know we have a few trees and bushes growing out of the roof, or at least the gutters. And so now it's time to put a new roof on to preserve that building. And no, I'm sorry, that's the next building. Okay, so this
Yeah, they're-
building, you all are going to move into it.
The one that we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, item number 2, it has a loading dock, it's got plenty of room for them to, kind of,
It's got a warehouse basically in the back.
yeah. So they can kind of divide up and have a carpentry section over here and a millwork, or,
We've already occupied about 30% of the space just with materials we've gotten recently from other buildings, taking doors down.
Sure.
Stuff that we don't want to throw away that we may reuse.
But this one does need a new roof on it, we put it out to bid, and so now we're up to
Yeah.
your recommendation for the committee.
So I was looking at the same company is doing the roof next door. They just started on that today,
Journeys.
Journeys.
Mhm.
That same contractor bid on this roof. He's slightly more than Tim Leeper Roofing, if you include the ridge cap. His proposal said strongly recommended
for proper installation is to add the waterproofing ridge cap. He added $42.95 for it. If we do that, which needs to be done. I called Tim Leeper just to verify because he doesn't actually say that on his bid, but he says verbally that it does include repairing the ridge cap. I still think it's a little more money if we did it, but they're out there right now. They're doing the roof next door. As far as manpower, labor, I think they'll do probably a better job.
How much more is it?
Well, it's $45,292 to add the ridge cap. It's $42,800 if Tim Leeper roofing, if we chose Tim Leeper.
It's about did I hear about $3,000?
What's the name of the company again that's
The-
already there?
Roofing Solutions.
Roofing Solutions, okay.
And he did the sheriff's office.
Can they get right on that one afterwards?
That would be
Is
the
what your
plan.
thing is?
If we
Yeah.
moved on this, he could order materials.
Can be right on it.
But there's a difference in the material. One is silicone.
One is silicone,
And the other is acrylic.
acrylic.
Is that a different crew?
No, the
It's just
chemical.
different, okay.
Silicone is, from what I understand, and talking to Tony, the representative out of Florida that is the manufacturer of the acrylic, that's what went on the sheriff's roof back in the fall. And he said that the acrylic just went through a test with Dade County School System, 2 years underwater. They tried the product, and it met all those tests of salt water, being underwater, the UV light in the state of Florida is much tougher. He says that the acrylic, and it comes with a 15-year guarantee.
That's the difference here is, this is the other difference. The cheaper bid's 10-year. This one is 15-year.
So we can justify that.
I
Yeah,
think we
with
could
$3,000
justify.
difference, we're picking up another 5 years of warranty.
And so are both of those the silicone roof or the
Yeah,
acrylic?
No,
Leaper,
this one is the acrylic. The one that I would like to award is the acrylic. And it comes with a 15-year warranty. The other roof that's a little bit cheaper is only a 10-year warranty, and it's silicone based.
Well, it's not that cheaper to get another 5 years out. When you look at it. So I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call roll.
Can I have a clarification on the motion?
Yes. that
It's
is-
roofing solutions, and are we accepting the?
Ridge cap.
The ridge cap? Okay. Just want to make sure I understood
With a
that.
15-year warranty.
Commissioner
And I'm
Gann?
sorry, just make sure that gets in the minutes on why we're choosing the 15-year warranty
Yes, sir.
over the 10-year.
Right, exactly. Yes, sir.
And Rob, you are expecting that they can just come off this one job onto the next?
I've already talked to Tony about it. It's going to boil down to how quickly he can get materials. So
We should have made that contingent on a bid, or you can still do that.
Yeah.
Because this depends on you getting.
if you want to do
That's
this,
right. You have it in your pocket.
just move your crew right over.
And then you
Right
say,
next
I'll
to
make
it."
that happen.
So, and I did some research on this because I'm not real familiar with this acrylic product, and I looked at those contracts in Florida, and they're very strict. I mean, their specifications are extremely hard.
So I
So
think that's what some of the conversation you might have heard yesterday from Commissioner Phillips and Chairman Pete of trying to get the
School
school
boards.
boards to at least do one.
One, yeah.
I picked out 6 addresses from some of the schools that they have in their 5-year plan for roof replacement. Sent to him. He went on Google Earth and went down, got an approximate measure of our bigger schools: Riverdale, Oakland, Laverne, Smyrna, and came in about half
Wow.
of those 6 schools. So you're looking at 12 million versus 6 million. And I think our school teachers would like to have some other opportunity to spend 6 million instead of putting it on a roof when you're getting
That's
the
right.
same warranty. You know, it just makes sense. If this is there's no sense in sticking your head in the hole saying, well, this is the way we, with that that roof on back 20 years ago, new technology and polymers and chemistry has brought about opportunities at a cheaper price. This makes sense.
I've got a question about that after we finish
Yes,
this
sir.
vote.
Let's go ahead. We got any other questions on this motion? Is to accept this with a 15-year-old. Okay, call roll.
Commissioner Gammon?
Yes.
Commissioner Gooch?
Yes.
Commissioner Key?
Yes.
Commissioner Buchanan?
Yes.
Chairman Ketchum?
Aye. Okay,
So Mayor, can you explain to me, since I'm the new guy,
yes, sir.
why the school board doesn't follow purchasing protocol where we're involved?
Well, basically a lot of TCA in the code because it's that way with, under state law. You know, they have their own elected board, which tells them how to spend the money. Under TCA, all we can do is appropriate that money or not appropriate that money based on their request. We can't really micromanage. I think Chairman P said that yesterday. We can't really tell them how to spend the money. Back, I remember when Steve and I were first on the county commission and we kind of bucked up with the school board back in the early 90s and they said, okay, if you don't, we said, we're not gonna give you what you're requesting because we know you've padded it. And so they came back and they said, okay, then we're cutting out buses, sports, and band.
Here.
Because they knew that if we cut that out, you know, we'd get bombarded, 21 commissioners get bombarded from parents going, oh, he's not cutting my daughter out, you know, cheerleading, and, you know, Jimmy can't play the trombone anymore, what are you doing, you know? Some states, like Ohio, they have a law that says that school boards have their own taxing authority. And everybody's going, oh, you don't want to give those guys taxing authority. However, there's a caveat that says that if their school boards increase over 3%, it has to go to referendum to allow the people. And because most people don't know who their school board member is, they really don't.
They don't.
They don't know who it is. It's you. It's you. You know, you're the commissioner. But then we don't have any teeth with the school board.
Yeah, that was my concern. I mean, you know, we go through all this with purchasing too, but then to see them, you know, and I don't know the procedures, so I can't speculate, but I mean, I will, that they use vendors they want to use
Yes, sir.
for whatever reasons they want to use. But when we see that there's a savings, whether it's roof, whether it's any other maintenance items, it stands to reason we
We
would
would
say
put some
so.
pressure, as we did yesterday. We put
Yeah.
some pressure on them and then try to get the school board to put pressure on their folks as well.
Well, and that's county money, you know, we've
Yeah.
got sheriff's office that would love 7 more deputies, you know.
Sure.
And that, you know, that's just interesting.
Well, yeah, with that kind of money, you have to be a wise steward, you know, and be
Absolutely.
very cost effective. when
But
you-
it's so easy because the school board's budget is so
So
large.
big.
You get to lose
So
$5 million.
big, yeah,
sure.
You
yeah.
know, and it's hard to micromanage something that large. Steve, what was the school budget when we first got on in 1990? It was only like 58 million, something like that. Now we're way over 480 something
Good
million,
Lord.
you know. We're probably over
Triple.
half.
When I,
half
when I,
a billion.
when I first started sheriff's office, the sheriff's office budget wasn't 400,000.
That's why you only got one bullet and you had to buy that.
We had to buy it ourselves. Back then you had to buy your own pistols and web gear and everything. All they gave you was a couple of uniforms
Learn it
and a
by
weapon they
one
gave
book.
you. You could shut the cylinder on.
And school teachers think they have bad buying pencils, don't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, and chalk and
That's
Kleenex, right?
You had to buy them on camera to shoot homicides.
I'm sure,
From-
I've
from-
heard that.
Ted Beatty up here.
Oh, that's funny.
I've heard that. Okay, item number 2, facilities management. This is the one located, the old building located behind our current archives and library.
The old school board.
Yes, sir.
Old school.
Okay, Rob.
So we had the same bidders on this roof, and again, Roofing Solutions was the lower bid. I've discussed this with him because I had a few questions about exactly what he's doing that I wasn't clear on in his breakdown of the bid. I believe he's gonna end up doing a few more repairs to that roof than he's got listed here. But even with that, he's significantly lower than the next lowest bid. So it's $10,000 difference right now. and it might be another 2,000 or 3,000 at the most that he would have, because there's gonna be some wet insulation up there that,
If he gets in there and finds some wet spots,
Yeah.
you anticipate it might be a little more than what he's quoted, but he's still probably 6,000 or 7,000 less than the
Yeah.
next closest bid.
Do we have a set contingency percentage for an overage if they find that in the contract?
there was nothing in the specs about
Okay.
that.
All right, but we would expect if there's 10%, I mean, that's a pretty typical contractor upgrade, but you'd be okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been on the roof, he's looked at it. I talked to him today when he was out there.
Okay.
Yeah, and he agreed that there might be more, but it's not gonna be much. And $7,000 is still significantly lower than the next one. And even if we did take the next one, he's got the same contingency. If I find more, it's $8 a square foot to
Yeah.
fix it. So
Yeah.
Refresh my memory, who's the other bidder?
Mid-South Construction.
Mid-South, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So I would recommend we take Roofing Solutions for maintenance as well.
So
Motion
moved.
to, second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none. Call the roll.
Commissioner Gammon,
Yes.
Commissioner Gooch,
Yes.
Commissioner Key,
Yes.
Commissioner Buchanan,
Yes.
Chairman Ketchum.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, we'll get back to sign.
These will need to be signed.
So as we're passing this along to sign members, we only have one item to bring before us next month. And you talked to Chief Farley,
Yes.
and it's nothing urgent concerning uniform bids for our fire and rescue. So he was willing to put that off to our August meeting, so our next August meeting will be August 17th. And no July meeting, so everybody gets a break.
And that's my birthday.
August 17th.
August 17th,
We'll bring a cake.
Okay.
put that down, Stevie.
Carol Cook will fix something, I'm sure. Sponge cake.
Sponge cake. Carol Cook gonna bring you sponge cake.
Oh, no.
She brought me sponge cake last year.
Are they good? I ain't never had it.
I put the knife into it. She had a whole room in my office, and I put the knife into it, and the knife almost hit me in the face.
It was true sponge.
She had taken the sponge out of the pillow that her cat laid on.
Oh, I can't do it.
She took that whole piece of foam rubber, and covered it with chocolate,
Oh,
and wrote my name on it, happy birthday.
That's dirty. That was dirty.
And brought it in there, and she said, happy birthday, man. She said, you cut the first piece. I'm like, that knife ain't like that. No. Can't eat this.
Trying to be nice, I'm sure.
She got me. Yeah, she
That's
got
funny.
me.
That's good.
And it wasn't April's Fools either. She was out to get me.
that's the
And I said,
real.
you got one coming back at you, Mayor. Commissioner. And I said, I'll get you back. She just died laughing. She and Don. I thought that was so funny. I said, this is true sponge cake. All right, members. Good work yesterday. Good work this whole past year. Enjoy in the hemp fields. Rod, he said he wasn't doing anything tomorrow. He'd come out and help you.
Come on.
For real? Nah.
She needs some
Look,
help.
I've already got poison ivy bush hogging at my place.
Oh, no.
May as well get back in there.
Still on television.
Okay,
Stay saying this.
okay.
It's legal.